An event that has been on the Grand Prix calendar some 60 years. This is the Canadian Grand Prix at the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Hey everybody, I'm Greg Woods. Before you can race up in Canada, you must qualify. Let's take a look at the track that awaits. 13 turns, just like the actual circuit, including that long straightaway and the dreaded Wall of Champions. Taking a look at the standings of these predictor videos, Lando Norris leads the way by just 5 points, but it's a more comfortable gap in the constructors. McLaren, a full race victory in front of Ferrari, and then a little bit farther back to Aston Martin. But unless you're a 1-2 finish ahead, that means you can be caught. Alex Albon, the first to venture onto this circuit. Very flowing is the first sector, opens up a bit in the second. Mind that shark fin and the drop around the far hairpin and the casino straight. There is our first look at the Wall of Champions. It's one that normally drivers would try to avoid, but here in this marble version of the track, I think you have to use it to your advantage. Hit it and bank forward, or bank sideways. We'll see what ends up being the faster route. The two Williams got things started. Albon quicker than Sainz. Franco Colapinto comes through slower than both of them. Pierre Gasly mirroring nearly all of the drivers who've gone to that particular side of the drop back there in sector number 2. And the Alpine goes up into first. Liam Lawson in the RB. Pretty good lap in comparison to Gasly's. How does the third sector pan out? Very nice. By 1/100th of a second, Liam Lawson goes up into first. Isaac Adjar took nearly 3/4 of a second out in the middle sector alone. And even with some time lost in the first and third, comfortable enough to go up into first. Gabriel Bortoleto trying to keep it off the walls down that straightaway. Can't quite do it and goes only to 6th of 7. Nico Hülkenberg hard into that hairpin. We'll see some different lines on the entry and the exit there. Have to see how that works out in terms of speed. Yuki Tsunoda going side to side and lost quite a bit of time. 8th of 9. Max Verstappen, however, has nailed the first sector before losing half a second in the middle. That was a very clean exit from the hairpin. Over the line there, goes up into first. You may recall in our last Marble video, it was Oscar Piastri and Verstappen in a wonderful duel. Ended up being won by the McLaren. Fernando Alonso, purple in sector 3, but the time has been lost up until then. Only good enough for 6th. We're over halfway through here in Q1. Lance Stroll, hometown driver, goes across the line. Only good enough for 9th. Stroll back after missing the previous Grand Prix. Ollie Behrman, 9th. Esteban Ocon in the other Haas. 6/10, quickest of anybody in the middle sector there. And goes to first by nearly 4/10. Esteban Ocon up into P1. Guaranteed safety. George Russell comes through in 9th. And now we begin the eliminations. Kimi Antonelli needing to pick it up here. In danger? No more. Franco Colapinto has been dropped. Yuki Tsunoda in the lower of the two Red Bulls is on the bubble. Charles Leclerc looking to bump the Red Bull driver, and does. Leclerc up into 5th. Hamilton in the Ferrari. Neck and neck through sector number 1. A lot of speed coming up into the hairpin. Over the line here, 6th. And that knocks out Gabriel Bortoleto. All of the Canadians holding their breath right now as Stroll sits in 15th with just a couple of drivers left. Norris goes up into 2nd. That means Stroll is out. Ollie Behrman is in the danger zone right now as Piastri, the last Grand Prix Marble Predictor race winner, comfortably goes up into 2nd place. It knocks out the other Haas. Times are wiped away as we head into Q2 after this one. The top 10 make it on to Q3, and we'll see who will be fastest of all and get pole position for the race tomorrow. So much history at this track. You'll notice we are not on an island, but you do see the lake inside of the track. Of course, in the actual circuit, also have the rowing and canoeing basin from the '76 Olympics. Nico Hulkenberg sets the opening time, but that is obliterated by George Russell to the tune of 9/10 of a second. Carlos Sainz. Good centering coming down the straight, but somehow lost a heck of a lot before that. That hairpin can really be Marvel's undoing here. So too can the walls, as Alonso able to break through that, only lost 18 hundredths in sector number 3 and goes into second place. Alonso, not one of the repeat winners that is in the field this weekend. There's only 2 of those. That would be Max Verstappen, a 3-time winner, and that is in the last 3 years. And Lewis Hamilton, who has won it an astonishing 7 times. That's tied for most of anybody with Michael Schumacher. Ferrari, the most successful constructor around here. And we see purple up in sector number 1 for the Ferrari driver of Lewis Hamilton. Hamilton in 4th. That's middle of the pack thus far. Charles Leclerc, 7 hundredths in the green, faster than the leader, but has now lost 2 tenths in the middle sector. Hard into that wall. The collision, really, that is the hardest of the 2 going into that final hairpin is the entry wall to the Wall of Champions. Right there. Antonelli, 6th. Russell still holds the top spot in front of Fernando Alonso. Alonso won this race back in 2006. Max Verstappen, the 3-time defending winner, lost quite a bit of time there and is only 9th. Sainz and Gasly are eliminated, and with just a few drivers left, Max Verstappen is sweating bullets right now. Norris goes straight into last and is out. Verstappen lives another round. Piastri in the other McLaren, 2nd place. That puts Verstappen in 10th. Hulkenberg is out. Ocon, the final runner. Purple in the middle sector. It's close in the 1st. And Ocon bumps out the world champion. Albon makes it through, but the Red Bull driver does not. My goodness. Drama always present in Canada. Usually it's the weather. Sometimes you get some very odd happenings around this track on the man-made island in the middle of the St. Lawrence River. Ready to start Q3 with the opening time of an 18.58 from Alex Albon in the hunt for pole position. Antonelli knocks Albon off that top spot. Hamilton trying to do the same, but had a rough middle sector. 3rd, slowest of all. Leclerc lost 4 hundredths in the middle after gaining 4 hundredths and goes up to P1. 0.33 seconds clear. Lawson over a second off in last. Here comes Ocon, purple. 1/3 of a second in the 1st sector. Lost 4 tenths. Over the line there and goes first. 0.35 ahead. Esteban Ocon can start no worse in the top half of the top 10. Fernando Alonso, 7 tenths off over the line into 4th. Here comes Isaac Adjar. Well navigated was that hairpin. Adjar running some very close times here. 2nd and a quarter off. Piastri also trying to put together 3 good sectors. Over the line into 5th. And the McLaren driver and teammate of our current championship leader wants to get in the mix. George Russell. Final runner here, 6th. And it will be a Haas on pole. Esteban Ocon alongside Charles Leclerc to lead us into the Grand Prix tomorrow. Taking a look at the times as they came through. 17:14, the best of the lot. And you'll notice there were a couple of ties in there. 0.32, 0.32, 0.16, 0.16. If you're wondering kind of the order on that, it is the earlier runner getting priority because the track gets fresher as it goes along. Well, the race should be an interesting one if qualifying is anything to go off of. Please tune in tomorrow. Make sure you like and subscribe so you do not miss it.